One, we're back. Summer vacation is almost over, and dreading it more than anybody is Coach Ed Young. I'm at Hatfield. Hear us every Saturday, ESPN Radio 94.1, 10 a.m. to noon on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. If you ever miss a show, VirginiaPreps.com is the place to be for that. We're going to go through the districts for the high school football season as the 2017 campaign is about to start, coming up on August the 25th. Starting with the Beach District, Ed, who's your pick to win the Beach? You're on the spot. Who are you going with?
They got close last year. I'm going Bayside.
Ooh, to win the Beach.
I'm going
in
Bayside.
spite of the guys they've lost. Graduation and transfer out.
It's a tough district. Cox, Ocean Lakes. I can't pick them all. Salem. You're telling me right now, today.
Wow.
Today I'm going Bayside. Tomorrow I'm going to go to Cox.
His forehead. Are you okay?
It's been a hot summer. Yeah.
Well, you liked Ocean Lakes all summer, and you were liking Cox for a week.
Yeah,
you like flip-flop more than flip-floppers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bayside today.
Wow.
And then after the first week, ask me again. I'll go Ocean Lakes.
Okay, so you're going today with Bayside.
Today.
Okay.
Bayside.
John White might be delighted here. He might not be. He might be scared to death. I don't know. I'm going to go with Cox still because they won it last year. I know people are alarmed about the scrimmage with Kings Fork, but I don't overreact to that. I do think Ocean Lakes and Lansdowne will be knocking on the door there. I think Bayside could be dangerous. Only 10 seniors, though, but you better get them early, not late, and Cox plays them game one. That game could tell us a lot early on in the schedule, but I think it's going to be another wacky year in the Beach. Maybe 8-2 wins it. I'm going to go with Cox. I like Bill Stachelski's scheme. I like Tavion Robinson and Leno Lester in the backfield. Robinson can play some receiver and move him around a little bit. And I think defensively they'll have no standout like Jordan Williams last year who went to Clemson, but they'll gang tackle, they'll play smart, disciplined assignment football, and they'll find a way when it's all said and done. Their last two games are against Salem and Lansdowne back-to-back, so that could be tricky. They need to get to that game either 7-1 or 8-0.
Bayside's got to get some early wins. Confidence. They got a lot of young kids that they're putting in, replacing the kids that left. So
the first two games are Cox and Lansdowne. So if they're 0-2,
if they go 2-0, I look like a genius. If they go 0-2, I look like you, a nut job.
You're 1-1, you could be in the mix there. All right, Eastern District, Lake Taylor's been the king for years. Do you see anything changing? They lost a lot to graduation, as did Norview, the team that made the state semifinals in Group 5A.
Oh, Lake Taylor. Everybody's playing for second place in that. Well, watch out Norview. Watch out Norview. I'm going to go Lake Taylor, but watch out Norview.
I think Norview has a chance. I think their chance was a little bit better last year. Their better guys are freshmen and sophomores. Granted, they do have Derek Eason, the defensive lineman, going to NC State. So I'm going to go by a whisker, Lake Taylor again. Hank Sawyer and company, they'll iron out some of the kinks that were shown in their scrimmage against Ocean Lakes the other day. Defense will be good. They got some really good youngsters. I tell you what, they may not be a state championship team this year, but watch out, 2018, they are built with a ton of sophomores and juniors. I think the Titans, with that twin veer attack on offense and that come at you fast and forward kitchen sink defense, they'll get it done.
Yeah, I think they'll nose out Norview a little bit more than a whisker. So I go with Lake Taylor by a nose over Norview.
It's because you cut your whiskers today. You don't have any left.
I never had them.
Southeastern District, Oscar Smith, 91 consecutive district wins. Everybody playing for second still?
I think so. I think Smith will get a couple scares.
Wait. You're the same guy who said they would lose, the streak would end this year. And they remember that too. The kids remember that stuff. He said that in the summer.
If it doesn't end, it'll go to 100, right? Because their first game is Vero Beach.
They can get number 100 if they keep winning and beat Kings Fork in the regular season finale in Suffolk.
Kings Fork, Nansemond River, Grassfield are going to test them dearly.
You just said in the summertime the streak was going to end. Is the streak ending, and are they going to win the district? Yes, give me answers.
They're going to win the district.
But the streak's ending, you're about to tell me. Don't flip-flop.
Today, the streak continues.
See, you flip-flop more than anybody in America.
It's the heat. It's the summer.
Oh, I think the streak will continue. And I do think they're in good position. I think playoff time, there could be some tests that await them. Maybe not so much regionally, but in the state. I think they're the team to beat still. They have Cam Kelly taking over for Sean Mitchell at quarterback, D'Angelo White at running back, along with Keon Watson. That's a good 1-2 punch there. Receivers are solid, led by Shaquem Hussey. Defense is rock solid with Keshawn Artis at linebacker. He's one of the best around. Kyle Thomas up front on the D-line. I think they get the job done. It's their district. But there are some good contenders behind them with Western Branch, Indian River, and watch out for Kings Fork. I've been hyping them all summer long. They may not be the best team in the district, but I think they have as much talent as anybody. Peninsula District, Ed. Hampton, Woodside, they shared it last year at 8-1 in the district. Phoebus was 7-2 in the district. Heritage 6-3. Oh, by the way, Heritage beat Lake Taylor and Hampton to start the year, if you recall. Lost a ton of guys. I'm going to go with Phoebus, but I'm scared from the standpoint of they got whacked 44-0 by Hampton last year. So I say Phoebus with a little bit of apprehension.
You know, I'm going to probably jump in that same boat because a lot of Phoebus key kids were young last year.
Copycat.
I'm going to go Phoebus by a whisker over Hampton.
You're a copycat. You are a copycat.
That's why I said whisker.
I will tell you, people keep saying, as we talked with K.E. and Chillis from the Daily Press, watch out Gloucester, watch out Warwick. They got a couple of surprises there in that district. Tayshawn Porter leading the way for Warwick to Howard University commit, and Isaiah Spencer for Gloucester. So I think Woodside lost a ton. Hampton's best players going, and Daz Newsom to UNC, and Heritage might be a year away. So yeah, I think Phoebus right now is the safest pick with that defense, which we know is going to be very, very stingy. Bay Rivers time. Lafayette's got the streak, not quite of Oscar Smith level, but about 3-4 years of no losses in a district. Smithfield gave him a scare, as did Grafton. Grafton's got a new coach. I think it's still Lafayette's district to win. Andy Lynn stayed on, and he's got plenty of talent in the cupboard there.
Again, this is a district everybody's playing for second. Lafayette got this.
Okay.
I think even though Smithfield is probably going to be on number 2 again, Lafayette just has a little bit more, too much power for him. I think it's Lafayette.
Keep an eye on Pocosin. They may finish third in the district behind Smithfield, but they actually may match up better in a tight white knuckler with the Lafayette Rams. That could be tricky.
I can see Pocosin finishing second over Smithfield.
Oh,
so
Keith's not going to like that. You have to talk to your friend.
I hate to do that, Keith, because the heat gets to him too much.
All right, and Willie Drew's a dynamic player for the Packers there. Let's go through surprise team and then players to watch and go through this week's games. Give me your surprise district team, the team that's going to be better than they were last year off record, will win more games than last year. So Cox 9-2, Bayside 9-2, 8-3 for Tallwood, Lansdowne, Salem 7-4, Ocean Lakes 5-5, Greenwood and Kellam both had 7 losses. PA did 2, FC 1-9, Kempsville 0-10. Who wins more games this year?
I think Ocean Lakes. I'm thinking they got 5 wins. I see them 7, possibly 8, and I could see them winning the district. So I got to throw my money down on Ocean Lakes.
And they got Javon Beckton at DN going to Georgia, Jalen Smith, wide receiver DB going to Navy. I'm going to go with PA as my sleeper pick. 3-7 last year. I think they have a shot in game 1 to spring the upset against Tallwood, and they have a good amount of talent led by Daryl Jones, the Maryland Terrapin commit. Eastern District, 11 wins last year for both Lake Taylor and Norview. Norcom went 6-5. Granby went 5-5. Maury was 3-7, and then bringing up the rear, you had Wilson at 2-8. Churchland and Booker T at both 1-9. Who wins more than last year? That Maury pick looks like a pretty good one.
I'm going Maury. I was going to say Maury. No less than 500. I think that they get at least 2-3 more wins. If not, maybe 4. I got to touch Lake Taylor. I don't see them getting Norview, but they can win the rest.
I'm the copycat. However, because I agree with you, I'm going to go different just to be sake of different here. I'm going to go with Norcom as well. I think they'll be better than 6-5. Larry Archie's got a good group coming back, led by the linebackers Taurus Jones and Alan Boykins there. Should be a little bit better on offense. Maybe not explosive, but a little bit better. I'll go with Norcom to get more than 6 wins, perhaps 7. All right, Southeastern, we know Oscar Smith was 13-2. Grassville went 9-3, 7-5 for Indian River, 6-5 for both Nansemond River and Western Branch. Lakeland was a surprise to a large extent at 7-6 last year. Kings Fork 4-7, Deep Creek 3-8, 2-8 for both Hickory and Great Bridge. Boy, I like Kings Fork at 4-7. That's the easy pick for me.
That's easy for anybody.
Bulldogs all day there.
They could finish second, which gives them probably 7-8 wins. So I would go Kings Fork.
What about Western Branch being better than 6-5 last year, or your Nansemond River Warriors being better than 6-5?
Both will. I'm not sure if they would get as. Remember now, Kings Fork only won 4 games last year, so the margin of going up is better for them than Western Branch and Nansemond River. I see Western Branch and Nansemond River being better than they did last year, but can they go 8, 9, 10 wins? You know, feeding the district means they both beat Oscar Smith. I don't know. They're going to win more than they did last year. I just think Kings Fork will have more wins.
Gotcha.
In terms of the total from last year.
A bigger surplus, if you will. Peninsula District, Hampton went 11-2, Woodside 10-3, Phoebus 11-3, Heritage went 8-4, Bethel 6-5, Gloucester 4-6, Warwick 4-7, 8 losses apiece for Denby and Kickingham, while Minchville was in the basement at 1-9. Who is most improved?
I keep looking at Gloucester, 4 wins. They can shoot that up, but that means they're really going to go up in the upper echelon.
They'll be improved, but I don't know if they're going to shoot it up.
Yeah, Kickingham 2-8. I thought Kickingham would be good last year, and I know they lost a lot. maybe this is the year I should have picked Kicketan to go maybe close to 500, and I will. Kicketan.
You know, it's tricky because that's a good pick. I don't know if anybody's going to have a big increase in terms of wins. The district may not be as strong as last year. And I said last year I thought Peninsula was the best district of the 5. I've been saying in the past the Beach or Southeastern. Not the case this year. It's a good district, but not the best. You know what? I'm going to take a wild hair and pick Gloucester at 4 and 6. I say they get to 6 wins somehow, some way. So +2 for them. Nobody else may go more than +2 except perhaps Kicketan if they can jump from 2 to 5. I'm not sure they'll get to 5. It's going to be neck and neck with Gloucester, Warwick, Kicketan as a little bit improved. Not great, but improved. Bay Rivers, you had Lafayette go 13 and 1, Smithfield 8 and 3, Grafton 9 and 3, Tab 7 and 5, Pocosin 6 and 5, New Kent 4 and 6, War Hill 4 and 7, Jamestown 3 and 7, York was 1 and 9, Bruton was 0 and 10. Bruton's going to win a game, right? They were winless last year.
Yeah, I could see winning a game. Now, don't ask me who they're going to beat, but that topsy-turvy Bay River district could happen. My most improved probably going to...
Don't take it. You better not. I'm going to punch you on camera if you do it. Oh, good, he didn't. I think they are going to improve. I'm going with my man Doug Pereira and the York Falcons. They got the Lytle brothers going to UVA and Virginia Tech walking on. The defense is usually good enough to keep them in games. Now can the offense muster up enough plays to win them those games? They were 1 and 9 last year. I see at least 4 wins for the York Falcons.
Yeah, you know, you look at that, you're right. I could see them getting 3 more wins, maybe 4. But I could see Pocosin winning 3 more than what did they have last year, 5?
Don't take my pick. Pocosin was 6 and 5 last year.
Okay. But in the district, what were they, 5 and 4?
Pocosin was 5 and 4. Very good. You're a smart man.
I could see them
off my Excel sheet.
You know what? I could see them winning 3. I'm going to say Pocosin is more improved than New Kent.
Okay.
York.
Give me your Ed Young, Matt Hatfield player to watch. We get one guy we're going with for district this year. We're going to ride with them all year. Who's your guy? Start with the Beach. Who's your ride and die with guy? You picked Bayside to win the Beach, so it's got to be a Bayside guy.
I'm going to pick the kid, the linebacker, Jones.
Trey Jones.
Trey Jones, and I think he's going to Navy.
Yes, he is.
All right, I'm going with Jones.
So you think he'll be the guy to step up with Armani Chapman, Jaden Curry, those guys not there anymore. You're going with him. I'm going to go with a defensive guy, too, in the Beach. But I'm going to go with Javon Beckton, the defensive end of Ocean Lakes. He can wreak havoc off the edge. He's going to Georgia. That's the guy, player of the year candidate. Ed goes with, he's keeping up with the Joneses. I'm going with Mr. Beckton, future SEC Bulldog there. Eastern District, who is your guy? You don't like to go with sophomores, but you're going with one, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the kid who has a good bloodline, Keandre Lambert at Maury.
He's the nephew of Cam Chancellor, and you're just taking my picks because you've heard me rave about him all summer long, aren't you?
I heard that name a lot, so I'm going to go with him. I want to take somebody from Lake Taylor, but who?
Well, they lost their main studs in Darnell Ewell, who went to Notre Dame. We had him in studio last year. Diamante Tucker-Dorsey going to James Madison. But they still got some guys. And I'm going to go with the little running back, Deion Smith. He's one of just a couple guys, 3-year running back for Hank Sawyer. I think Deion will pop up the yards. Maybe not the most highly coveted prospect to recruit out there, but in that system, Lake Taylor, you're going to run the ball, you're going to be successful. I'm going with Deion Smith.
Good pick.
Southeastern District. There's a lot of candidates in the Southeastern District. Who do you like? And by the way, you coach in the Southeastern District some basketball at Nansemond River, so...
Yeah, I'm going with a kid that plays some basketball for me, too. Nansemond River Zone, Gerard Stringer, East Carolina commit. I'm going to go with Gerard. I think he'll have a good year, and I know that Oscar Smith got some people, and I love the kids at running back there over at their Kings Fork. Yeah. But I'm staying with my own guy, Gerard Stringer.
I tell you what, I'd love to go with a sophomore, Trayshawn Mitchell, the D-tackle at Kings Fork. I think Indian River's got a guy, a D-lineman, and Ben Smiley's very good. Jalen Alexander at Western Branch is extremely good. I'm going to go offense, though, and I'm going to go with D'Angelo White, the running back at Oscar Smith. He had over 2,000 yards last year. They're going to move him out in the slot. He could be, Ed, it's conceivable, he could be a 1,000 guy rushing, receiving. I don't know if he will, but he could be. He could. He had 2,000 total yards last year from scrimmage. I think they'll win games. Will be a big reason why. I'm going to go with D'Angelo White, but there are a lot of picks in the Southeastern, which I'll tell you right now today, I think it's the best district of the 5.
I would say Southeastern. Going top to bottom, I would say Southeastern.
Peninsula, who you got? A lot of the big-name guys have departed, led by Daz Newsome to UNC. Tyler went to Army from Woodside. Boyd went to Navy from Heritage. Who's your PD player to watch?
I'm going to go with the kid that's going to lead the Dukes into the upper echelon. I'm going with the kid Isaiah Spencer.
Another basketball kid.
Basketball kicker. I've seen him on the court against me, so I'm going to go with Spencer.
Quarterback being recruited as a linebacker by UVA for defense. Boy, that's a good pick. I'm going to tell you what, though. I'm going to go a little bit outside the box here. I'm going to go with a defensive back at Phoebus, Damian Charity. He's maybe not the biggest name, but he's being recruited by some schools like ODU and Florida Atlantic. I think on that Phoebus defense, he'll get a chance to have a lot of interceptions, maybe 8, maybe 10. They'll be thrown his way because they have to throw on 3rd and long. I think Damian Charity will tear it up this year in the PD on defense for the Phantoms. Bay Rivers, and you got some candidates there. Who's the one you're going with, though?
Head and shoulders above everybody because he's on the best team, and he's going to be a burden to everybody. Armani Burden.
I see what you did there.
I like that. I did that.
Outside back,
This
running
guy.
back from Lafayette going to Navy. It's 2 Navy guys for you with Burden and Jones.
It's a Navy area.
Navy payroll over here?
It's a wish I was Navy area, so I'm going with him.
Willie Drew. Well, what can you do, Willie Drew? You're my player to watch from Smithfield, the quarterback, defensive back, being recruited by UVA as a corner, but he's also a dual threat, running and passing for the Packers, Reggie Chavis's Packers, Keith's Packers, everybody in Smithfield's Packers.
But not Green Bay. Not
Green Bay's Packers. Yeah. But he will be the guy for Smithfield to keep them right there in the forefront. Like you said, they could start out 0-2, but I could see them getting on a surge, 8 straight going into the playoffs. And that'll do it for the players to watch. Now, Ed, before we sign off on this abbreviated edition of the video show, High School Sports Talk Plus, we got to tell the folks 2 things. We're going to do a picks contest this year, and there's going to be 3 prizes. Tell the folks they can go to virginiapreps.com and matthewhatfield.com, and hopefully soon espnradio941.com to do the picks. Give them the parameters.
Well, what we want to do is we're going to pick the local high school games. We're going to pick probably 5 top 25 football games per week. And, of course, we'll do the whole NFL. Now, you beat Matt and I on all of those, you get a grand prize.
For the season.
For the season. It's the end of the year, right?
You got to do it every week.
Now, we're not doing weekly prizes. No, we got some sponsors out there that want to jump in and give us weekly prize. We do that.
Okay.
But let's go with a grand prize, beating us overall. And then we go second, I guess, the silver medal. That's not the prize, but it's the idea.
The gold.
If you do better on the high school picks than us. And then, of course, coming in 3rd place bronze for that 3rd place prize, you would have to beat us on the college, high school combined. Just the college pro combined. So that's how you can get your win. And we're going to try to come up with a decent prize. We are talking to a couple sponsors, and whoever gives us the best deal, we'll go with them, and we'll pass that deal on to everybody else, our winners.
VirginiaPreps.com, proud to be a part of this. And my one question with it is, are the coaches and players eligible to win?
Yeah, I don't see why not, because they're not going to pick against their own high school team.
No.
And then college and pro, it's wide open. So,
Okay.
Yeah, they can. Now, players, remember, we cannot give you prizes. So if you play, you're going to put somebody else's name.
You're eligible for the prize.
Right, or put in somebody else's name.
Okay.
You do the picks, but put in somebody else's name.
Yeah, have your mom and dad fill them out or something.
There you go.
Figure it out.
Brother, sister, cat,
All
dog,
right.
somebody.
But your cat and dog can fill out picks, really?
Sometimes, dogs are better than humans.
Some games this week, Bayside Cox, you got Green Run Lancetown, you got Tallwood, Princess Anne the Beach, Kempsville Salem, and Kellam Ocean Lakes. Anyone kind of tickle the fancy for Coach Ed Young? You don't like that phrase?
Out of the beach, Bayside Cox.
Okay.
Because
At Kellam High School, by the way, due to field conditions, they're going to Kellam for that game on Friday.
I picked Bayside, you picked Cox. So that's a big game.
We disagree, we go head-to-head, see if I can knock them out. Eastern District, Maury at Bethel in an out-of-district matchup. Booker T's at Huguenot. Churchland Kickitan. Debut for Donshell Leonard at Churchland. Debut for Dream McCann at Maury. Norcom goes to Hopewell. Norview welcomes in Northeastern, who's got the great running back Freshwater, who put up a lot of points and yards on Lake Taylor last year. And Wilson takes on Kings Fork. That Northeastern-Norview game's interesting to me because Norview, they got Indian River the week to follow, and they don't want to go into that 0-1, and that's a tough matchup against a Northeastern team that pushed Lake Taylor to the wire a season ago.
Yeah, when you mentioned the games, I kind of stopped on that one because Northeastern's got a little bit of pub down there and got the kid, the running in the back. I would say that's the game to watch.
Maury Bethel will be intriguing for Class 5 when we look at power ratings end of the year, as that game could have a lot of implications for those two teams jockeying for playoff positioning or trying to get in. Southeastern District, you got some teams off this week. The one team that is in action, Oscar Smith and Vero Beach. That's probably the spotlight game of the week in the area, as Vero Beach has got, Scott Johnson told us, a linebacker DN going to Florida, a running back going to Syracuse. Good amount of talent and an offensive lineman going to Georgia State, one of 4 starters back for a team with size, speed, and athletic ability.
It's the only game, so it has to be the game in the Southeastern District if that's the only team playing. But it's Vero Beach is kind of a national team. Back in the day, this game used to be on ESPN, but obviously no TV for this game.
No, they'll have to follow Hatfield Sports on Twitter for updates.
You can do that. It's
Shameless
cheaper.
plug. Bruton is off this week. They play King William the following week. Bay Rivers, pretty much everybody's off, although Pocoson's at Southampton on the 25th, and War Hill takes on Heritage, the Hurricanes. War Hill and Heritage. Could Heritage be on upset alert?
That might, of the two games, I think Pocoson's going to roll Southampton.
Oh.
Hate to say that, but Keith, I'm sorry.
He's a Southampton grad.
Yeah, I'm going to go War Hill Heritage would be the game.
And then in the Peninsula District, Denby goes to Dinwiddie. That may not be the most attractive of matchups for the Patriots out of the gate. And they got Hampton after that. Gloucester taking on Woodside. We mentioned Bethel and Morey. Warwick is playing Granby, by the way. We forgot that one in the Eastern District. Warwick-Granby is a game that two teams trying to be improved, take that next step. Woodside-Gloucester's got you intrigued because you think Gloucester's got a chance to pull the upset despite the fact that Woodside beat them 51-0 last year.
I don't know why, probably my craziness, but it's at Gloucester. A lot of people are talking about Gloucester.
He's hating on you, Woodside. He's hating.
Unfortunately, though, I would feel better with Gloucester if they were playing somebody not as good as Woodside.
He's a hater.
You're not going to just come in and be hype to beat Woodside. You're going to have to really, really execute. And if they do that, I can see that. But I can also see Woodside beating them 40-20. So, but I'm saying there's a possibility.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. Everybody has a chance. But I like that game as the Peninsula District game.
Keep an eye on Warwick. If they beat Granby, which I think they did last year, if I'm not mistaken, the Raiders, the Wascally Waiters, they did 50-13, in fact, beat them pretty good. They got Menchville the following week, and then it's Hampton. They could go into the Hampton matchup 2-0 and really starting to get a lot of buzz over there in Newport News with the Wascally Waiters. So watch out for Warwick. They could be sneaky here to open up the season. Well, that's going to do it here on this High School Sports Talk Plus video show. Keep it tuned to VirginiaPreps.com for all your rankings, class top 10, class 6 through 1. We're unveiling the final 5 top-ranked teams in the state this weekend, and we've also got predictions and a bunch of stories, and you can do the picks on VirginiaPreps.com through Matthew Hatfield's Hatfield Sports and ESPN Radio 941.com. We want to see if you can beat this guy or you can beat me with your picks. Listen every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon on ESPN Radio 94.1, High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. And we'll talk to you again sometime soon. Enjoy.